Summer is a great time to get some extra reading done in Japanese, and this is what I'm planning to read and watch this summer. So what I'm reading, currently I'm going through this book. The book is called 美しき日本の残像, and this is a book written by Alex Kerr in 1993. And it was originally written in Japanese and then later translated to English. While there's no direct translation for zanzo, it's usually translated to after image. So the English title of the book would be The After Image of Beautiful Japan. But instead of going with this title when it was translated to English, they opted to change it to the more elegant Lost Japan. And I actually have the English version right here, by the way. So yeah, this is the Lonely Planet version of the book. The book covers Alex Kerr's life in Japan and his love for more traditional Japanese culture, which he thought bloomed for the last time in the late 1980s before it started to dwindle away. I'm not sure if he's of the same mind now as when he wrote the book, but his fascination shines through onto the page, and it's hard not to be enamored by it, especially if you've experienced more traditional Japanese culture for yourself. One of my favorite parts of this book covers how he would spend days at an old Japanese house during the rainy season and hearing the rain hammering down on the roof. This took me back to where I've spent time at various ryokan during the rain. And ryokan is Japanese style inn. So that's really what part of what made me love the book. I could easily create a whole video covering this book because it's really one of my favorites. I really love it. But I'll just leave it at this for now. I read the English version first before buying the Japanese version. But I never got around to finish the book in Japanese. So that's why I'm going through it once again. It's a really great book, so yeah, while the book is great, Alex Kerr's Japanese is also very good, so don't really think of this as a book for beginners. The content is really good though, so if you think it sounds interesting, but your Japanese level isn't high enough yet, then just read the English book instead. Or you could get them both and read them side by side. There is some difference between the two books, but for the most part the content is the same. If you have trouble memorizing kanji, then watch this video to see how I learned enough kanji to read native level Japanese. So, for manga, I'm currently reading Ijiraないで Nagatoro-san, which I believe is translated to Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro in English. If you're not familiar with it, this manga is about an introverted second-year student at a high school who is usually just referred to as senpai, who is teased by a first-year student known as Nagatoro Hayase. Senpai, or Hachioji Naoto, as he's called, is part of the art club at the school. And Nagatoro usually joins him there and plays around with him, along with her friends. And this gradually allows Senpai to come out of his shell. Now, for some reason, some more sensitive people have labeled this as bullying. And although the Japanese title means Don't Bully Me, Nagatoro, it could hardly be called cruel, and is more a form of teasing, egged on by their mutual interest in each other and lack of ability to communicate that interest in any other way. It's really a fun and lighthearted manga that has had me laughing out loud several times. I haven't seen the anime other than clips here and there, but people seem to be liking that as well. I'm on the third book right now, so I haven't really read the whole thing. It's, as of now, 10 books have been released, so still have a lot to go, but it's a fast read as well, so I really enjoyed this series. I think I'm just at the start of the third book. Actually, I've gone a bit further, but I'm not reading on this computer, so it starts at the first page for some reason. So if you want to find out how I'm reading this manga, and if you want to read some Japanese manga for free, you can find out how you can do that by watching this video right here. If you want to try reading the manga in Japanese, you can read a bit of the manga for free at Manga Okoku, which is this page right here. So another manga I'm currently reading is Ikusa no Ko. The title means Child of War, the legend of Oda Nobunaga. And Oda Nobunaga was the first great unifier of Japan. eventually becoming the nation's most powerful daimyo and overthrowing the Ashikaga Yoshiaki shogun and dissolving the Ashikaga shogunate. He was famous for using unique tactics on and off the battlefield. The manga starts with his early life and covers his rise to power. The series is still ongoing in Japan, but it hasn't been translated to English yet. The manga is written by Seibo Kitahara and illustrated by none other than Hara Tetsuo, who also illustrated Fist of the North Star. The art isn't as good in Ikusa no Ko in my opinion, as he's aiming for more of an exaggerated look, but it's not bad in any sense, but it's not his best work either. Here you can see some of the covers. So far there are 16 books released in this series. I'm on book, was it 11 I think? Here you see some more artwork. So yeah, I'm on book 11. And this Ikusa no Ko, this series is a fairly light-hearted take on Oda Nobunaga. So it's pretty fun to read. It's really easy to read as well. It's not really easy, but it's, as far as Japanese native level material goes, it's not that bad. It's good, but it's not great. I think I'll probably finish the series, but it won't go down as one of my favorites. But it's still fun enough. So I'm not sure if it will be translated to English one day. We'll see about that. And yeah, there's only really one show that I'm currently watching right now, and that is Kakegurui. And the title means something like betting crazy, and it's usually listed as Kakegurui, compulsive gambler in English. The story is set at Hyakkao Private Academy, an elite school where the student hierarchy, for some reason, isn't decided by traditional school performance, but by gambling. The students are ranked by how much money they contribute to the student council, and frequently bet their fortunes amongst themselves, with the winners earning prestige and the losers becoming debt slaves known as pets. If a bet isn't able to pay their debt before they graduate, they receive quote-unquote life schedules, meaning that they pay the debt with their lives. The story features Jabami Yumeko, who seems like a cheerful and bright high school girl, but is really completely crazy for the thrill of gambling. She has an ability to see through the scams of many of the other students, and starts to disrupt the hierarchy of the school. Despite the crazy premise and my complete lack of interest in gambling, the first few episodes have been pretty good so far. The real reason why this series piqued my interest was actually the design of the school uniform. I saw a piece of fan art by an artist known as Zumi, and that got my attention. So that's what I'm currently reading and watching in Japanese. What are you currently reading or watching? Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe for more.